Jai Gurudev. This is summary of speech of Sri Swami Shivom Tirath Ji Maharaj delivered in Bombay on January 1, 1982. I am very happy to be present here for addressing the Shaktipat initiates of Bombay. You have all been given Shaktipat Diksha, but have you ever thought about why you have been initiated? In fact, when a guru initiates a disciple, he has an intense desire created for the welfare of the disciple. He wishes that the disciple should get beyond the dualities of pleasure and pain, gain and loss, and get established in eternal happiness. Shaktipat initiation does not aim at anything else other than this. If a disciple gets involved in his deeds, he cannot go beyond the dualities of life. If he performs his duties with a dutiful mind, sanskars is no longer there. To come back to the original point, I want to stress that disciples are normally not aware about the significance of spiritual progress for which they have been initiated by their guru. After all, what is the awakened power? Where does it come from? What does it do? How does it function? And finally, what does it aim at doing? Aspirants do not find time to seek answers to these questions. It is mainly because issues of secondary importance have been given undue significance. Disciples are consequently indifferent to something which is so important. At the same time, there are 101 excuses for something to be done or not to be done. But once priorities are fixed, deeds can be accomplished easily. This is not your first birth of which you have lived a life on earth. No one knows in what life you were wandering in your past and after what virtuous deed you have come to attain human form. It may be that you sometimes were a horse, a dog, or a cow. You could equally have been a thief, a dacoit, a beggar, a yogi, or a saint. You are fortunate that you have now been bestowed with human form, which you should utilize for making spiritual advancement. It is possible only in human life that good and bad are discriminated. All other forms of life are meant for enjoyments or sufferings. A human being can thin out the effects of deeds of his past lives and can also at the same time stop accumulations of new sanskars. A man therefore performs worship, jap, tap, and other sorts of spiritual practices and also performs prescribed worldly duties with the sense of duty which is devoid of all attachments. But this is very rarely remembered. Generally, people are involved in functions of earning money, accumulation of property, fame, and the enjoyments thereof. Precious life is thus wasted without any fruitful solution. How unfair it is that the primary object of life is so forgotten. Everyone is certain that he will die one day. The only uncertainty that exists is about the exact time of the death. A man can become the prey of death at any given moment. The only certainty about it is that it will definitely come. Escape from it is never possible, no matter whether you are in your own country or abroad, in your house or out of it, whether working, sleeping, or taking rest. What I mean to point out is the fact that you are never sure of how much time you are left with to work. You must therefore utilize your time in spiritual practices to the maximum. It is natural that ordinary human beings give preferences to worldly pleasures which are directly attainable, but those of you who have been initiated should consider that bliss consciousness, though beyond the reach of senses, is more real and worth attainment. It is only unfortunate that you have so far undertaken a futile voyage on earth. You have only carried the burden of ego and accumulated the effect of your deeds. The properties of spirit, which are real, have remained unattended. When Guru Nanak Dev had acquired fame as a saint, he once went to Lahore. There lived a rich man named Seth Duni Chand. He came to see Nanak Ji on being attracted by his fame. Upon leaving, the Seth asked if he could be of some service to the saint. Nanak Ji told him that everything was going on well with him and he was in no need of any service. When Duni Chand very much insisted for it, the Guru gave him a needle and told him that it should be returned back in his next life. Ultimately, he went back to the Guru and requested to be discharged from this responsibility. The Guru smiled and told the rich man, "True, Sethji, if you cannot carry even a needle with you, how do you then expect your riches, properties, and belongings to remain with you forever? Neither fame nor obscurity can surely accompany you. Even this body will lie behind. You should therefore give up your ego and try to attain salvation through devotion, worship, and meditation." You should be surprised to note how short of time you always are. Normally, the lifespan of an ordinary man is 70 to 80 years. Around 30 years out of it are spent in sleep, 30 years in profession, and at least 15 years in eating, discussions, and recreation. You are hardly therefore left with 4 to 5 years for your spiritual accomplishments. I hear from a number of disciples that they are not finding time for spiritual practices. I am sure these are all excuses which are prompted by the mind. It is the nature of the mind to keep wavering until disciplined in spiritual practice. My last camp, organized in Nasik, was primarily meant for the attendance of my disciples in Bombay. I was surprised to find that there were people attending it from Hyderabad, Bhilai, Devas, Rajkot, and Sangli. There were thus around 120 participants, but no one happened to come from this part of Bombay. Someone had said that his wife had become ill Another failed to get leave from work, and some initiates were required to go somewhere, and practically everyone had an excuse in this manner. I admit that everyone has responsibilities of work, and no one, in fact, can abstain from working. If you doubt my statement, you can try and see if you can remain without work. Action will continue as long as a man has desires and attachments. I therefore do not want you to give up work. I only insist that you give up attachments from all your actions. It may be pointed out that an action is not a root cause of bondage. It is the involvement in action which binds a man. If, without giving up attachments, one stops working, he will commit a mistake only. If you go on working after abandoning attachment, the same will amount to worship. This is also called a sacrifice. Sacrifice is essential for the purification of mind. The purification of mind is possible when the accumulated effect of past deeds is thinned out and any further such accumulations is stopped. The work in this manner becomes the worship of God, which is worker performs by the power of God only. You are fortunate that the power in you is already awakened and the process of purification has started. What you therefore need is only patience and joy to go on doing your sadhan. Be confident that God will surely help you. Jai Gurudev.